Welcome back. I'm Udar Pratap Singh. You're joining us on NewsX. Breaking updates coming in top of the hour. Sources have confirmed that after National Commission for Protection of Child Rights issued a notice to Meta on the 3rd of July 2026 taking suo motu cognizance of media report of BBCI regarding alleged advertisements related to child sexual, exploitative and abuse material, Meta has submitted its report and response, Meta submitted their reply after a week. Now NCPCR has decided to institute an inquiry in the matter to determine the facts of the case. Atul Ranjan is joining us for more on this story. Atul, has Meta responded to NCPCR, and what is now NCPCR's future course of action going to be?
Well, yes, after a BBC report, what we saw that it clearly revealed that Instagram in India was running paid advertisements that promoted child sexual abuse. And, these commercial ads clearly used explicit phrases and, directed users to external messaging apps, and to purchase such content. Now, following which, immediately a day later, we saw that, the NCPCR issued an official notice to Meta platforms and, asked them to explain and also obviously ordered them to disable all such advertisements and demanded explanation from them. Now the Meta has, after Meta has submitted a formal reply to the government and the Child Rights Panel, Meta obviously stated that while they have a zero tolerance policy against such content, what did not work in this case was that some of the bad actors were able to exploit the loopholes in the system, and that has been given the explanation that has been given by Meta. Now, but the NCPCR is clearly not satisfied with the Meta's justification, and they have questioned why the content wasn't directly reported to law enforcement instead, and now we are learning that the government sources claiming that the NCPCR has launched a full-scale statutory inquiry into this whole matter. So some more troubles for Meta in the coming days.
All right, thank you, Atul, for joining us. Now, a quiet morning at a private school in Faridabad turned into a scene of horror when a masked man walked through the gate, asked for a teacher by name, and attacked her the moment she stepped outside to meet him. Sandhya, a 30-year-old teacher at a private school in Sikrona village located meters away from a police outpost, was stabbed to death by a masked attacker. According to the school administrator, a young man arrived at the school gate that morning and asked to speak with her. When she went to the gate to meet him, the man attacked her with a knife, stabbing her in the face, neck and chest over 30 times in 30 seconds. CCTV footage of the incident showed the masked man entering the school and waiting in the lobby. As soon as he spotted the teacher, he signaled her to step outside before grabbing her by the neck and dragging her out while stabbing her. The school administrator, who rushed out when he heard screaming, said the attacker turned on him too. When he tried to intervene, he went back to the woman lying on the floor and stabbed her in the stomach and face around 20 times before fleeing the scene on a bike with no number plate. The accused, identified as 21-year-old Amit, a resident of Court Village, was arrested within 2 hours of the incident. He later confessed to the killing. Brinda DK, women's rights activist, is joining us live. Dr. Mohit Sharma, psychiatrist, is also with us live. Shamshavi Shrine, Supreme Court advocate, joins the broadcast. Ashwini Dubey, Supreme Court advocate, is also with us now. This, of course, is an absolutely shocking incident. What do you make of the details of the case, Brinda DK coming out, and what punishment would be appropriate in this matter? Brinda DK, can you hear me? Okay, I think we're having some issues with Brinda's connection. Dr. Mohit Sharma, let me bring you in here. What do you make of the possible, mental state of this man? What made him actually do this in a school, in an academic premise where there were young children there as well?
This is a very extremely disturbing event has happened. As a psychiatrist, first, I would like to express my sympathy to the victim and the family. At this stage, we cannot automatically see what actually happened, but what we have seen from the reports, this was a very, very intense anger must be there inside that person. The violence has been evolved because of certain set of personality traits. Maybe some rejection has been done by the girl, and there are jealousy develops, revenge develop in that person. We also need to find out any substance use was there, any what was his background, any criminal background which can suggest his criminal mindset. So, as I want to just say that psychiatry should not be used as conveniently explanation. whatever happened, whatever the serious crime is being done with that. With that. So, I will
Yes.
say this thing happened with very much planning. So not the mental disturbance is not cannot be said in this case.
Okay. Perhaps, also now, of course, the facts have to come out, but it seems to be a prima facie, Shamshavi Shine, a case of a stalker who obviously, perhaps when ignored, perhaps when, turned away, decided to do this to this woman. But of course, brutal crime caught on camera, so chilling. The visuals that have come in from Faridabad, Shamshavi Shine.
Yes, it's so sad to see that young minds, a boy aged 21 years, has such a mindset that he could stab multiple times, and that too just within seconds. This shows that, you know the generation is not being taught that what does no means, how to control your mind, control yourself. This is such a bigger shocker that uh, someone could enter a private school, um, uh, commit such kind of a heinous offense over there, and that too in front of the camera, knows that what would happen after if I murder someone, knows everything and still doing it. Imagine the mindset. This shows that he is not scared of law. This shows that he has not been taught by his family, by his school, by his friends, by the area, by the where he lives, that no is very important word. Women have right over themselves, and they are not able to adjust with the kind of environment that they have to deal with. I mean, this is becoming a bigger problem, not only here in Haryana. There are other states also where we continuously hear that such kind of matters, and especially the young boys, the young ones who are doing it over and over again. Um, this is a major problem, and it is the government who should be, and the schools who should be taking huge steps for teaching boys, especially boys, that how to say no and how to accept no. This is a problem first. Second, I would say that since it was a private school, how was this person allowed to enter the school? This is again second point. When there is a school, there is a CCTV camera, which means that the school is from a, I mean, doing pretty well. It's not in a very bad space, bad state. So how could you allow any stranger? Here it was a teacher. It could be a child whom someone could come and kidnap or kill. So this is the responsibility of the school also. So it's not only the murderer who should be taken into the custody. It is the head of the school also, that who has allowed it to enter any stranger inside the school and then harass anyone, or do any wrong activity. So as a legal counsel, I would say that it's not only the stalker who should be held accountable, it's the school administrative also, because inside the school, where you have so many vulnerable kids over there, it would be a problem if such kind of activities, yeah, such kind of people are allowed in the school. So it is the head of the school also who should be held responsible over the murder.
Okay, let me take that to you as well, Ashwini Dubey. Ashwini Dubey, is what action would be appropriate against this particular individual who is guilty of this crime, who all should be held liable? A wider point that Shamshavi Shine, of course, was making there. And what do you make of this very chilling murder that, as I said, has been caught on camera? Ashwini Dubey, can you hear me?
Yes, Uday, I would say that there is no fear of law and order, for the reason that the people who were there did not come to save that innocent lady. Two, she made a mistake by not complaining against that gentleman, or you said a criminal who came, who earlier also had tried to make this kind of attempt or proposed her. Number three, it's not a failed relationship. I would say it's a psychological or mental disorder which should have been cured at a right time. maybe socioeconomic factors. And you see, when there is a law under Nirbhaya Fund, when the women of Ministry of Women and Child Development takes care of that, they will work where there will be no offense against the women and children, and where the safety and security of women are paramount, and government and executive time and again says that we would ensure that the women are safe, children are safe. They will promote the women's empowerment and their safety. They are taking several steps at a time. When the broad daylight murder inside the school, it's a worrisome, it's not an ordinary murder. I would say it's a rarest of the rare crime. And Uday, it's not first offense. Yesterday, day before yesterday, today, tomorrow, you will see these kind of things are happening from one to the other, another part of the country. Why executing is failing? Why there is no enforcement? Who is responsible for enforcement and safety of women, children, and common citizens? Of course, the police. Of course, the state. Why state is, or the SHO, local police, is not having so much of iqbal in that area that the offenders are not afraid of committing crime? You see, the recent year there has been a notable increase in the rate of crime in various parts of the India. This is disturbing trend which has left many people wondering why the rate of crime is increasing. Socioeconomic factor, urbanization of population growth, drug and alcohol abuse, breakdown of family structures, maybe technological advancement, maybe the failed relationship, ineffective criminal justice system is also one of the reason. So what is required? The safety of every individual is required. Let us do not discuss what has happened. Let us work how to strengthen the law and order and how to prevent in future these kind of offenses which are happening. And the footage shows very Uday, I would say, so disturbing footage. The footage showed that the Sandhya trying to run away, but the attacker chased and he stabbed her several times and nobody came. This has happened earlier also. We have seen on 31st December 2 years back when Anjali was killed. Nobody came to save her. In many cases, we have seen that the jihadis have killed women for the failed relationship. Nobody came to save them. Why this is happening? Because there is no fear of law and order. And if there is no fear of law and order, then of course the executive fails. It's not our responsibility. Common citizens should feel safe in an environment which the government has to give as per the constitution. And here it's a complete failed law and order, failed machinery, failed the states, the citizens, guarding citizens. Over to you, Uday.
Okay, let me quickly, in fact, also, take that to you, Brinda DK. Now, if you can hear me, do we have your audio through now, Brinda?
Yes, I can hear
Okay.
you
Yes,
there.
yes. I was trying to bring you in here earlier on this episode, what you think of it, what you make of it, and what kind of mentality is now existing in our satellite towns, in our capitals, metros. This is part of the NCR region, Faridabad, and if this is happening here, imagine what women and others face in other parts of the country. And this is supposed to be a safe environment, a school.
You're absolutely right. And like all the other panelists pointed out, utter lack of fear of law. They know that there's nothing that is going to happen to them. This is also a classic case of toxic masculinity. I will not accept a no from a woman. So yes, education is important, social conditioning is important, communities need to talk about it, families need to talk about it, but we also have to talk about the role of the state. The role of the state does not anywhere show that a culprit, so much of evidence is available, and these are cases that have happened in the past, all of that, and they drag the cases on and on and on. So there is no logical conclusion to cases, and that is increasing impunity. Impunity that nothing will happen to me. Impunity that nobody can touch me. I will get away. I have lawyers who will fight and argue on my defense on all the loopholes that are present, which our police and the public prosecutor will very, very bravely give all of that away, because they will not even register the evidence properly, they will not register statements properly, and the investigation officer does not do his or her work. So the state has to be held accountable first. Secondly, like the other panelists pointed out, where was the security guard or the watchman or whoever at the school? How is it that this happened? 32 seconds is a very long time. And in that long time, somebody could have come to assistance. Somebody could have seen that she's saved from there, but nothing. And that is giving me another concern: is the school really safe for children? The school right now looks like very dangerous place, because if something happens to another child studying in that school, the child will not be able to fight against another adult, because you have these kind of men time and again, on and off over there. And let us not talk about mental illness, what was his state of mind. Okay, all that works against this man who is a murderer. So we do not want to give any excuse of what was his mental state. It's just insecurity. The fellow could not take a no, because he has all the time learnt that if a man wants something, he can take it. Also, all our leaders and our films and everything continuously glamorize this whole stalking, both online and offline. And where was the police? We're talking about a school, which means there must be some kind of a police outpost, some beat police happening, something should be happening there. So the security of the school students inside the school now is a big concern, because they are all in danger, and that is scary. I hope the parents take this up seriously. But everything said and done, I hope this case is actually brought onto the fast track court, and in the next 9 to 11 months we will see a logical conclusion and a precedent set that this person gets nothing less than capital punishment.
Okay, let me take that to you as well. On, of course, now the fact that Shamshavi Shrine, we need to create safe environments. What safeguards, what further safeguards are needed in academic institutions, in schools, in colleges, in campuses of learning? This is where such an incident, of course, while it may have happened just outside the gate, but the fact is that the teacher was lured from within the campus outside. What kind of more safeguards are needed to make our academic institutions more safe?
Safeguards are that you place more security. You have enough guards in case anyone is going to the washroom or taking a small break. So they have a substitute for that. So hire more staff. Of course, have cameras. Make sure that no one who's not from that school or from that college does not enter the college or the school. So I mean, the safeguards would be the bare minimum that we all talk about. But mental health is now a priority, which the government should make sure that it starts happening. There is a psychologist, not only one, there are actually 3-4 psychologists in every school, in every college, in every office. It should be a must. And keep talking to them so that you get to know what kind of mindset or the person that person is of. Be it religious wise, be it political wise, be it the woman wise, and you have to know the kind of person that you are hiring in your company, or you have students or your teachers or your staff. Everything should be known by the school, by the authorities, because if there is a child, there is a student of this mindset, so this way the person would be able to know that the administration would be able to know that that whether that kid is fit to be there right now, or that kid or that teacher or that staff needs a little attention for the to get to know that whether they need little counseling in terms of women rights, in terms of religious different ideologies or political ideologies, because we here it's not only a woman anymore. It is a religion also has become a reason for people to kill someone, or a political ideologies also has led. We have heard many matters in different school or different colleges wherein because of a political different ideology, a student has killed someone else just for that, because you are of a different political mindset, and the other person is from a different political mindset. So mental health now plays a very important role. But here I would like to share one my experience. um, I was a lawyer for Tihar jail here in Delhi. So I happened to meet a accused in the jail. He had a similar matter on him. He had stabbed a lady 47 times, and he only asked me that, could you please read my FIR and read my documents and just tell me that, do I fall under rarest of rare case? If not, then theek hai, I will be out of the jail in just 14 years. So the 14 years concept is there. The remission wherein everyone thinks that
Yes.
14 years would be over,
Yes.
but it's not till death. I mean, the life
Yeah, I want
imprisonment
to
till
quickly
death is not-
also get in
is
Dr.
what
Mohit.
they
Dr.
have.
Mohit, also, Dr. Mohit, how do we, change this kind of mentality, this unacceptance of no, this unwillingness to, accept rejection? How do we change that?
See, we have to first of all ask whosoever is there. There should not be generalization. There should not be a normalization of stalking. Stalking should always be reported, any at workplace, any at home, or even in the on the social media platforms. It should not whether it's coming based from fake account, from some excessive messaging is coming to you, some threat, some emotional blackmails coming. Even after you have refused someone and that person is completely coming again and again to you, that is an indicator that it is not sign of love. It is a sign of risk. These are the signs we should be picked early. There is always, we can see some patterns in the escalation we see. Grievance develop when we someone say no to someone, then there is some grievance develop, then obsessions grows, and then there is a fantasy to take revenge. That person start planning, doing surveillance, and they acquire some weapons and execution. So violence will not occur from nowhere. There is always some process, and in that process, there should be intervention by the police, by the family members who know that person, because the who is going to do that. Family members also get to know at times. There is the cinemas and the social medias also should not romanticizing all these. The persistence of rejection should not be romanticizing, and in reality the repeated violating someone's boundary is not romance. It is always a harassment, and it should be seen as this one. I would say at the point we must avoid assuming that this horrific
Yes.
crime is due to mental illness.
Yes.
And
Okay, I'm running out of time. Nirmal Kaur, former DGP Jharkhand, I believe, has joined us now. I'm totally out of time, but I will leave 30 seconds with you, Nirmal Kaur, on what you make of this shocking incident from Faridabad, and what sort of punishment should be slapped against the accused. How do we prevent such crimes, and what do you make of what you've seen and read in the media?
It is a very, very serious crime and generally not taken seriously. Because, all kind of like the films romanticize it. If somebody is after a boy or a girl, they keep going and eventually they are shown to fall in love and go around singing and dancing around the trees. So stalking is a very serious offense, but not taken seriously. And generally, victims of stalking meet a death within a year of, getting. But in India, we don't take stalking as a very serious crime. You have to maintain all the logs. Even the police, every stalking incident should be reported to the police, where they should maintain logs as to what happened, and it happens repeatedly. And those logs can be used to, to kind of, prosecute that person, to bound him, to send him to jail, or at least to, get some kind of an order against him that he should not be seen within, say, 500 meters of that person or whatever. Lots of these things are there. But in our country, and also the crisis of falling values. Human values are falling, and parenting has taken a backseat because all the parents are working. And social media has so much of influence. People are generally on the net. They don't go to, they have no real world existence. There's a parallel reality. There's a parallel reality which social
Yes.
media has built for
No,
us.
all these, of
And we
course,
don't live in
are
the real world.
important. No, all these are important changes which are needed in our society. We've run out of time. We have to take a break. My thanks to all of our guests for joining us.